You're welcome to another edition of Import-Export Platform Facebook Live from 3Thinkpad Trade Academy. We'll continue from where we stopped in the morning rather. We continue from where we stopped in the morning when we started discussing issues around open account and the fact that open account, even though is deemed to be a risky option, but open account is extremely important and critical for everybody in international trade. I really do not think any importer or exporter can escape open account, considering how many transactions in the world must be done on open account. Not because the people prefer to do it on open account, but basically because they really cannot escape open account. They really cannot escape open account. They really cannot escape open account. Open account trading is extremely important. It's deemed very risky. Risky in the sense that you ship goods, send documents, and hope that payment will come. You ship goods, send document, and hope that payment will come. And that's the challenge of open account trading. That's the challenge of open account trading. And that's the reason why many people are not interested in open account trading. In response to open account trading, ICC came up with the idea of bank payment obligation. Open account trading has done a lot for the world, but it has also done some harm to the world. As a matter of fact, during the financial crisis 2008-2009, the global economic meltdown, a lot of buyers became insolvent, not getting enough credit for their bank to meet their obligations, and they purchased on open account transaction, and it became difficult for them to make payment. So a lot of exporters also have issue getting paid. And that changed the dynamics of trade in the world forever. That has changed the dynamics of trade in the world forever. As in, there has been a new trend since that incident. There has been a consistent increase in two payment instruments that the world have recognized as potential, very potent way of mitigating the risk of non-payment in an open account transaction. Very potent way of mitigating the risk of non-payment in an open account transaction. The world lost a lot of money. Many people lost money. Many businesses shut down because of that global economic meltdown, just because of open account trading. So for those that are just joining us, open account trading, if you have not joined the previous edition, I'll just briefly talk about open account trading. Is a payment method in international trade. Payment method in international trade is a process whereby there is exchange of document for payment. Since document gives control over the goods, so there is exchange of goods for payment. And that's what happened under open account trading. Exchange of goods for payment. Exchange of goods for payment. But what happened in this case is, I got an order, signed the order, and the order say cash against document. But in that order, there is nowhere in the order where there is a request for me to send document to the bank of the buyer. So whenever you see cash against document on the contract and there is no indication that this document should be sent to the bank, that cash against document can be interpreted or rather tantamount to open account. However, if that cash against document require me to send document to a buyer's bank, that will no longer be tantamount to open account. It can then be called bill for collection or documented collection. I'll be talking more about bill for collection, documented collection in future, but that's not my focus today. My focus today is mitigating the risk around open account trading. My focus today is how do we mitigate the risk around open account trading? Considering the fact that in open account trading, the exporter signed the agreement says cash against document, and then there's no indication that document should be sent to a bank, meaning document have to be sent to the buyer directly, and payment is due sometimes in future. So I arrange for the goods, load the good on the vessel, on the airline, ship the goods to the buyer, send the shipping document to the buyer for the buyer to clear the goods. Send the shipping document to the buyer for the buyer to clear the goods. When the buyer receives that shipping document to clear the goods, and the buyer clear the goods, the buyer sell the goods or use the goods and then pay 30, 60, 90, 120, 180 days after. That becomes a big challenge on the neck of the seller. That becomes a big challenge on the neck of the seller if the buyer default. And like what we discussed yesterday, that research shows that 50% of people that defaulted were initially long-term business partners. 50% of people that defaulted in international trade transaction were initially long-term business partners. That means you've been doing it for many years, he's been paying as expected. But this time around, there is a default. Basically meaning he might not necessarily want to default, but there is an issue in the business transaction that led to the default. There's an issue in the business transaction that led to the default. So there's a default in the trade transaction, even though the intention is not for default to happen. Even though the intention is not for default to happen. But there's still a default in the trade transaction. There's still a default in the trade transaction. Very unfortunate, but it does happen very well. What am I trying to talk about? The fact that open account trading has come to stay. It's been here for many years. Why will people prefer open account trading? There is less documentation, no discrepancies, no delays through the bank bureaucracy. Documents come to the buyer directly. The buyer is able to clear the good on time. The buyer, if it's credible and it's okay, will be able to pay on time also. And the seller will get his payment on time. But it's preferable for it to be used among individuals that are comfortable with each other, have been doing business together for a long time. That is not eliminating that risk. That is not eliminating that risk. That is just giving us a viable alternative to minimize the risk of not getting paid. That just presents to us a viable alternative to minimizing the risk of not getting paid. It's not going to really stop the risk, but it's going to minimize the chance that that risk will happen. So what are we saying basically? Basically, we are saying that these payment terms is definitely risky, but it has come to stay in the sense that many people in international trade prefer to work with it. And I've stated the reason why. They prefer to work with it because of the fact that it helps them to minimize their exposure. It reduces their delays. Discrepancy. Look at one of the reasons. Do you know that one of the most secure payment methods is called letter of credit? But do you know that that same letter of credit is a major. You know what letter of credit does? Letter of credit has become a nuisance to trade transaction. Letter of credit has become a nuisance to trade transaction. What exactly does that mean? Letter of credit basically ensure that at the end of the day, letter of credit basically ensure that at the end of the day, the buyer get paid. But sometimes it gets paid after so many delays. So what open account brought to the table is that the things that cause delay in letter of credit, which is basically as a result of document examination, of which many people are not competent in examining because there are very few certified specialists in document examination in the world. In Nigeria, we have less than 100 of them. That led to a situation where more than about 70% of every document presented in the world are discrepant. That led to a situation where about 70% of every document presented in the world are discrepant. If 70% of documents presented in the world are discrepant, that is a big concern, that is a big challenge. So, people are saying letter of credit is becoming a nuisance to trade transaction. What is designed to ensure that transaction are secured is then becoming a clog in the wheel of the progress of that trade transaction. What is designed to supposed to help to ensure that the security of trade transaction has become a clog in the wheel of the progress of the trade transaction. What that basically means is that people are going to begin to find alternative. And to a buyer who needs document on time to avoid demurrage being paid at the port, demurrage, by the way, is the fee paid for the usage of container beyond the free period while the container is at the custody of the terminal, at the terminal of the shipping line. Because there is discrepancy on the document will not be released to the seller, to the buyer, payment will not be made to the seller, so both parties are going to miss out simply because of a negligence or incompetence on the part of one of the trading partners. So everybody is saying, why should we begin to continue to use this payment method that is constantly giving us headache? So the world is moving towards open account, and open account has taken over 80% of world trade, amounting to about $16 trillion of the trade done in the world. But because of the issue that happened during the financial crisis, it has become extremely important for every reasonable business person to find a way to protect itself whenever it's doing a trade transaction that require open account. Because during that recession, great companies, credible companies, A-rated companies, credit-worthy companies failed to meet their obligation. Failed in meeting their obligation. Why? Global economic meltdown. And that taught the world, trade business people in the world, a big lesson. That taught the trade business people in the world a big lesson. And the lesson is that you really cannot do trade transaction again based on open account. If you do trade transaction based on open account, what that basically will do for you is to expose you to the risk of not getting paid after that shipment. So here are my recommendations in mitigating the risk of open account. Remember, as a new trader, you might not be able to do without open account. As a new trader, you might not be able to do without open account. As a new trader, you might not be able to do without open account. With that at the back of your mind, what you want to do is, if a payment method is that risky, and many people in the world are using that payment method, that should tell you something. A payment method is very risky, but most trade in the world is done on that terms. With the advent of global financial crisis, a lot of people have found a way around open account trading. So, number one of the ways that many companies have been able to mitigate the risk of open account is by having a rep at destination. Having a rep at destination. Having a representative at destination. Either in form of an export management company or an export trading company. Either in form of a merchant or an agent. I have even recommended friends and relatives abroad. You know, there are some people in Nigeria, some Nigerians rather, who have been abroad for a while now, going to school. They finish school. They are looking for a job. Job is not forthcoming. There's no job in Nigeria. Unemployment level is over the roof. So what would they come and do in Nigeria? They would rather stay abroad, still looking for a job and believing something will happen. And my proposal to them is, why can't you become one of the export management company, export management agent of Nigerian exporters? I can train you on this. I can give you an idea on this. I can help you on what to do. You can learn so much on this. And the implication of that is you can become very, very valuable to Nigerian businesses. You can become very, very valuable to Nigerian businesses. And this is very important to me. I've made this suggestion at different forums that I find myself about the fact that we must find solution to this challenge. And that we already have our people abroad who can actually do it. The challenge is that they need to be trained. They need to be trained. We can have what we call export marketing agents abroad. Export marketing agent abroad. And we can really engage this agent to be able to get buyer for Nigerian products. You know, I'm still thinking in this light. Maybe I will talk about this in future. Talking about how to turn Yahoo to export marketing agent. Now, I'm coming. Export marketing agent. Okay. Now, so we can have training. Sorry, we can have the marketing agent abroad. And this marketing agent abroad can help Nigerian businesses to get buyers. And I'm saying these people can be trained. These people can be trained. I will probably begin to do some of those videos. Maybe it become a lot easier to send questions to to these Nigerians abroad. I mean, share with some of the Nigerians abroad because they really can help. What they've not done is to find a way around how to make that happen. But Nigerians abroad are potential buyer and potential agent to help us source for buyers abroad. Nigerians abroad are potential agent to help us source for buyers abroad. And this is so important. This is so important that Nigerians abroad can become useful, especially young people finishing masters, looking for a job and unable to get a job and are looking for what to do. And I'm saying you can start a business with nothing. Just learning, using your brain and your mind and helping Nigeria secure buyers. And they are going to do two jobs. Market Nigerian products, market Nigerian companies, market Nigerian businesses, market Nigerian services. Number three job rather. Number two, witness of loading and quality and quantity of the goods. Witness of loading and quality and quantity of the goods. And lastly, follow up on payment. Follow up on payment. follow up on payment. These for me are three cardinal jobs that a rep can do for you abroad. So for example, most of the country where we work in, we have rep in that country, agent in that country, distributor in that country, who are naturally Nigerians and in the same line of business. But I'm saying we can begin to have export marketing agents. Export marketing agents abroad. Export marketing agent. Export marketing agent abroad. We can have local export marketing agent and we can have foreign export marketing agent. Foreign export marketing agent, then we can have local export marketing agent. But in this case, I'm looking at export marketing agent abroad. And I say that because these are valuable instruments, valuable tool, valuable individuals that we can use to achieve our objectives. The beauty is that they earn commissions. And you know, it can be any commission on the product of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 50, 100 people that is getting buyer for abroad. And any supplier that failed to pay, it cut them off. It cut them off. The goods are shipped directly to the end users. Payments are made directly to the supplier in Nigeria, but supplier in Nigeria must credit the Nigerian account of the other guy so he can draw from abroad. This is so important. This is extremely important. We need these people. They are available. They are available. They can help us. What we've not done is to tap into those energy. What we've not done is to tap into those energy. And I'm saying we need to begin to tap into those energy. Why? Those energy are too important to be wasted. Those energy are too important to be wasted. We need to tap into those energy. Tap into those energy is becoming critical for us to be able to begin to trade, even though on open account, but we are still securing that transaction. They are critical for us to begin to trade, even though on open account, but we are able to still secure that transaction. And that's what we're saying. And this is extremely important for us, extremely critical for us. I'll be rounding off now, and I will still continue this tomorrow. What are we discussing? Open account. We are looking at how to mitigate the risk inherent in open account. What are other companies doing this? What have they done differently that is making them to secure themselves in this kind of transaction? What should we begin to do to begin to secure ourselves in this transaction? We cannot run away from open account. We cannot shy away from open account. There is nothing we can do against open account. Open account has come to stay. Open account has come to stay. What we can do is to find a way to ensure that we are able to protect ourselves and still trade in the terms that the world have chosen to trade. We can't run away from it. We can't run away from it unless we have chosen to say, okay, we're not going to be involved in the global trade. Unless we have taken that decision. Unless we are taking that decision, then we're not going to be involved in global trade. If that decision we have taken, fine, so be it. So be it. So be it. But if we are not choosing that path, then we can likewise decide to do something in this regard. But like I said, it's not a palatable payment method, but like I said, the risk can be mitigated. So mitigating the risk of open account trading. Mitigating the risk of open account trading. I'm saying even though that risk is inherent, but the risk can be mitigated, the risk can be avoided, the risk can be reduced, we must do something around the risk. Why? The world is doing it. The whole world is threatening it. We can't run away from it. We have to find a way to mitigate it. We have to ask ourselves, what are they doing differently? And so what we are doing is to provide solutions to what can be done to be able to effectively and efficiently mitigate open account trading. So at the end of the day, we don't say we're not going to trade because of the risk of not getting paid. Thank you very much for listening again today. My name is Dele Ayimibo, and this is Import-Export Platform Facebook Live from 3T Impest Trade Academy. Please remember, this video are on YouTube. You can always go to 3T Impest TV on YouTube to subscribe, number 1. Drop your comment, number 2. Click the like button, number 3. Press the bell, number 4. And share the video. Subscribe. Drop your comment. Click the like button. Press the bell to be able to get notification. And remember to share. Remember to share. Remember to share. Remember to share. 3T Impest TV. This video is regularly on it, and you can always get to know about all that we've talked about since the beginning of the year. Hundreds of videos done talking about different areas of international trade with special focus on export trade business from Nigeria. My name remains Dele Ayimibo, and see you tomorrow morning. Bye for now.